Okay, let's get into it. You're on TikTok, right? And maybe you're getting views, maybe even, a lot of views.
Hmm.
But the big question is, how do you actually turn all that attention, all that scrolling, into real, actual sales?
Yeah.
It feels like maybe you've got the audience there, but the cash register just isn't ringing. It's a massive challenge for businesses, for creators.
Oh, absolutely. It
Yeah,
really is. I mean, the potential for visibility on TikTok is just huge, kind of unlike anything else sometimes.
right.
But translating that visibility into, actual revenue, that takes a different kind of thinking. It's not just about chasing likes or viral moments.
It's that next step, moving from awareness to actual action.
Exactly. And, before you can even really focus hard on converting those views, you do need that basic presence first. You've got to get those initial eyeballs on your profile, on your
Yeah,
content.
that foundation.
Right. And look, for anyone kind of wondering how to build that up, how to get that initial traction, there are resources out there, places that can help boost your social media profiles, lay that groundwork.
Like getting a bit of a jump start.
Precisely. Think about maybe exploring options like websites such as rapidboost.net, that kind of thing, just to help get going with building that initial visibility.
Okay, so that sets the stage.
That initial boost can build the base, but then, the real work starts. And that's really the focus of our deep dive today.
Right.
We've been looking closely at this guide. It's called the TikTok Views to Sales Conversion Blueprint. And this source, it claims to have, proven strategies specifically designed to bridge that exact gap we're talking about.
Taking the TikTok attention and making it pay off. For any business, really.
Yeah, turning it into actual, tangible revenue.
Okay, so our mission today is pretty clear then. We're going to pull out the absolute core insights, the really actionable tactics from this blueprint. We want to figure out the how. How do you move past just getting views and actually start driving real sales? What's the system look like? Let's jump in.
Okay, so what's really fascinating right off the bat from this blueprint is understanding why TikTok is just fundamentally different when it comes to selling things.
How so?
Well, the For You page, the FYP, it basically means anyone, literally anyone, even with a brand new account, 0 followers, could get massive reach.
The democratized visibility thing.
Exactly. That's the starting point. You don't necessarily need years building an audience just to get seen.
Okay, but once you are seen, who are you actually reaching? The guide really emphasizes this point about the user base.
Right. It's predominantly Gen Z and millennials, and they put a huge premium on authenticity, on real value. They don't want polished corporate speak generally. And maybe the most critical part, they're often in what the source calls a discovery mindset.
Discovery mindset, meaning
Meaning they're scrolling, exploring, and they're actually open to shopping, even if they didn't log on planning to buy anything. The source cites TikTok's own marketing science data, saying something like over 67% of users get inspired to shop spontaneously.
wow, okay, so the opportunity isn't about hitting them over the head with a sales pitch.
Not at all. It's about feeling like a natural part of their scrolling experience.
Yeah.
Spontaneous, authentic, valuable, not like a jarring ad.
Right. So how does the algorithm fit into this? Because we know it's all about engagement. Yeah.
Precisely. The algorithm loves watch time, comments, shares, rewatches, all that stuff that shows people are actually interested.
Okay.
But here's the key insight from the blueprint. Videos that are super overtly salesy, they often struggle to get that big FYP reach
Why is that?
because they don't get the same kind of deep engagement.
Often, yeah. People might skip them quicker or not comment or share as much.
Yeah.
So the path to actually making sales on TikTok is often a bit counterintuitive. You build the community first.
Provide value.
Provide value, build trust, then you weave in your calls to action, your CTAs, but in a way that feels totally native, like it belongs there.
Okay, so the sale becomes almost like a natural consequence of being interesting or helpful first.
Exactly. The blueprint uses Gymshark as a fantastic example of this.
Oh yeah, their growth was huge.
Right. And they didn't start by just pushing leggings in every video. No, they created these relatable fitness challenges. They got users involved, doing duets, creating content themselves.
Building that whole community around the lifestyle.
That sense of belonging. Once they had that massive engaged community who felt connected to the brand's vibe, then introducing the gymwear made sense.
It didn't feel forced.
Exactly. The nudges towards the products felt natural to the audience they'd already built. And the result? Huge surges in website traffic, product drops selling out like crazy. The sales really followed the community and the value.
That really does flip the traditional marketing funnel on its head, doesn't it? Build the relationship, then the sale feels right.
Yeah.
So this brings us neatly to goals. If it's not just about getting, millions of views, what should businesses be aiming for on TikTok?
Well, the blueprint is really clear on this.
Yeah.
You need sharp, specific, sales-focused objectives. Go way beyond just wanting a massive audience.
Yeah.
You need to actually map out how TikTok fits into your overall sales funnel. Like, TikTok is often brilliant for awareness getting discovered, right? Top of the funnel.
Getting on people's radar.
Exactly. But you need a clear strategy, a pathway to move those people down the funnel into consideration where they engage more, maybe learn something.
And then
ultimately to conversion where they actually take an action, like making a purchase.
So TikTok might be the spark,
Right.
but you need the whole engine working to get them to the finish line.
Perfectly put. And this is exactly where tracking the right metrics becomes absolutely vital. Forget just looking at the view count.
So what metrics do matter according to the blueprint?
It's all about metrics that show action. Things like your profile click-through rate, how many people who see your profile actually tap that link in your bio.
Okay, that makes sense.
Website visits or store visits that specifically came from TikTok, your actual follower-to-customer conversion rate. And then digging deeper, add to cart rates and checkout completion rates, but specifically for traffic that originated on TikTok.
So you can directly tie the TikTok activity to bottom line results.
Absolutely. Those numbers tell you if your efforts are actually translating into dollars and cents. The key insight here is that the really successful brands, they're not just looking at vanity metrics.
They're digging deeper.
They're analyzing which specific videos, which calls to action, which types of engagement are actually driving those valuable clicks and, crucially, completed purchases. And then they double down on what works.
It's basically performance marketing, but using this massive discovery platform.
You got it.
Okay, let's shift gears to the content itself then. What kind of videos actually motivate people to move from just watching to actually buying something?
Yeah, this is critical. The core idea from the blueprint is creating content that's compelling, sure, but also optimized for conversion. Content that translates views into revenue, not just likes and shares.
And the key seems to be storytelling.
Storytelling over hard selling, absolutely. Focus on transformation.
Transformation
Like showing a clear before and after, or doing a day-in-the-life video that naturally showcases your product being used. Sharing genuine customer stories or case studies. It's about showing the result or the experience the product delivers, not just, the product itself sitting there.
Okay, I get that. The skincare brand example they mentioned really drives this home.
It really does. They apparently saw a 25% jump in sales, pretty significant when users started sharing these really honest, unedited videos showing their step-by-step progress using the product over a week.
Wow, not a slick ad, but real people, real results.
Exactly. It felt authentic, relatable, it showed genuine transformation, and that resonated way more powerfully than any traditional, polished advertisement could have.
That authenticity showing results, it naturally leads into using things like testimonials and social proof, right?
Oh, it's crucial on TikTok. User-generated content, UGC, is gold. Why? Because it's peer-to-peer. It feels inherently more trustworthy.
And so encourage your actual customers to post.
Yes. Encourage them to do unboxings, share their experiences using a specific hashtag, maybe. Then you amplify that content. Reshare it, stitch it, duet it. Potential buyers trust other users infinitely more than they trust the brand talking about itself.
Makes sense. And what about tapping into that kind of fast-paced, maybe impulsive nature of the platform?
The blueprint definitely suggests leveraging scarcity and urgency. Think time-limited offers flashed on screen.
Only 24 hours left.
Right. Or limited stock available, maybe a little counter graphic. Countdown timers. This stuff taps into that potential user impulsivity, that FOMO fear of missing out. It can be a really effective nudge towards taking action now.
Okay, so we've got compelling story-driven content using that powerful social proof, maybe adding a touch of urgency. But how do you actually, tell someone what to do next? The call to action, the CTA.
This is key. The CTAs need to feel like a completely natural, seamless part of the video, not like a sudden jarring interruption. They need to be native to how TikTok works.
So less click here to buy now, flashing on screen.
Yeah, probably less of that. Think more subtle integrated things. Text overlays saying something like, comment link if you want this. Or
Mm.
maybe pointing to your bio link with, shop the link in bio to grab yours.
Or even just saying it.
Or even just a verbal prompt in the video, like save this video if you're going to try this recipe, or tag a friend who needs this. Those feel much less aggressive, more conversational.
Okay.
And you've got to get creative with how you prompt that action. The blueprint really stresses the need to track which CTAs work.
But test different ones.
Test and refine. Analyze which specific phrase, which visual cue, which placement actually leads to people clicking or commenting or saving, and then optimize based on that real data.
Got it. Now, moving beyond just getting that single sale, how do you cultivate loyalty? How do you turn those one-off viewers into repeat customers or fans?
Right, because one sale is good, but long-term business requires more. This is about building what the guide calls engagement engines and really nurturing those relationships.
Okay, how do you do that?
Things like hosting TikTok live streams and doing Q&A sessions are highlighted.
Live seems like a great way to connect directly.
It really is. You can do live product demonstrations, show people behind the scenes of your business, answer their questions in real time. It builds trust and rapport very quickly, very directly.
And you can actually sell during the live, too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a prime opportunity. Run flash sales, offer exclusive bundles or discounts only available during that live session.
Create that urgency again.
Exactly. You can pin product links directly in the live chat, actively monitor the comments for buying signals, keep the energy up. It really capitalizes on the immediacy and that direct interaction.
Okay, lives are powerful. What about for ongoing engagement, keeping people coming back?
Think about creating loyalty loops. Use multi-part video series, part 1, part 2, part 3, that encourages viewers to follow you so they don't miss the next installment.
Keep them hooked.
Yeah. Run challenges or create specific hashtag campaigns that empower your biggest fans to become active ambassadors for your brand. They start creating content for you, driving traffic organically.
Turning fans into marketers, basically.
Pretty much. And importantly, if features like TikTok Shop or product links are available where you are, definitely leverage those. They let users buy directly within the app.
Reducing friction.
Massively reducing friction. That's often the ultimate goal. Make it as easy as possible to buy.
That seamless journey is so important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you can have the most amazing content, but if the path from seeing the video to actually buying is clunky or broken,
You lose them. All that effort is wasted. Which brings us right to optimizing your profile and your sales funnels. Your TikTok profile, the blueprint says, basically acts as your digital storefront or mini landing page.
so it needs to be sharp.
Absolutely. It needs a really clear, benefit-driven bio, not just what you sell, but what's the result or value for the customer.
Like vegan skincare delivering real results in 7 days kind of thing.
Exactly like that. Clear benefit. And then a simple, direct call to action right there in the bio, too. Something like, tap the link for today's special offer.
And make sure that link actually works.
Crucial. Make sure your clickable website link is enabled. You need a business account for that usually, and that it goes to a landing page that is fully optimized for mobile.
Mobile first, always.
Non-negotiable on TikTok. Everyone's on their phone, and that landing page itself needs to load fast, like ideally under 2 seconds. It needs headlines and messaging that clearly match whatever promise you made in the TikTok video that sent them there. Feature social proof, prominently testimonials, reviews. Minimize any distractions. And make the checkout process incredibly simple and easy.
Fewer clicks, fewer fields to fill out.
Exactly. Reduce friction at every step.
Now, what if you have multiple things you want to link to? Like your shop, your blog, your other socials?
That's where link and bio tools come in handy. Services like Linktree, Beacons.ai, or even just building your own simple landing page. They let you organize multiple important links neatly under that one bio link.
Okay, and how do you know which TikTok efforts are actually driving the sales?
Tracking.
Tracking is everything here. The blueprint emphasizes using unique tracking codes or UTM parameters on all your links.
You can see in your analytics.
Exactly. You can see precisely which TikTok video, or if it was the profile link click, or maybe a specific paid campaign, actually led to that website visit and subsequent purchase. That data is absolute gold for knowing what's working. What about the people who click the link, maybe even browse, but then they leave without buying? They were interested enough to click.
Yeah, and most people won't buy on that very first visit. This is where nurturing them after the click becomes so important, according to the guide.
How do you do that?
Retargeting pixels are key. You install tracking pixels like the Meta Pixel, Google Pixel, or the TikTok ads pixel itself on your website or landing page.
Okay.
This lets you show targeted ads later on, specifically to those people who visited your site from TikTok but didn't complete a purchase.
So you kind of follow them around a bit, gently remind them.
Exactly. You see ads for things you looked at all the time, right? That's retargeting. And also, capture email addresses on your landing page whenever possible. Offer a discount for signing up, maybe?
Build that email list.
Yes. Email marketing is still incredibly powerful for follow-up sequences, sending special offers, reminders about items left in their cart. Abandoned cart recovery emails are huge.
So TikTok isn't just this isolated thing. It drives the initial traffic.
But the conversion might actually happen later, through email or through a retargeting ad on another platform. It's about integrated marketing. TikTok is often the start of the journey.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's the organic side, optimizing the funnel. How does paid advertising fit into this whole picture? Can it speed things up?
It absolutely can. Paid amplification, the blueprint suggests, can significantly accelerate your results, especially once you have a good sense of what kind of content and offers are already resonating organically.
So you test organically, find winners, then pour fuel on the fire with ads.
That's a great way to put it. The blueprint details a few main ad types useful for conversion.
Like those ads that just show up in your For You page, looking like regular TikTok.
Those are called in-feed ads. They blend in pretty naturally and are really good for driving clicks and direct conversions right from the FYP.
Okay, what else?
Then there are Spark ads. These are interesting because they let you boost your own best-performing organic posts or even boost high-performing user-generated content about your brand.
Oh, so you leverage content that's already proven to engage people.
Exactly. You leverage that existing engagement and authenticity. And there are also collection ads, which let users browse sort of a mini catalog of several products right there within the TikTok app itself after clicking the ad.
Keeps them in the app, reduces friction again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you choose your ad type. What are the best practices for making a paid ad actually convert well on TikTok?
Well, remarketing is a big one mentioned in the source, showing your ads specifically to people who've already engaged with you, watched your organic videos, visited your profile, maybe even visited your website.
Targeting warmer audiences.
Right. Your ad creative itself needs a really strong, clear hook within the first couple of seconds to stop the scroll. Visuals are key. And for conversion campaigns, you need a very strong, direct call to action. Think buttons like Shop Now or Claim your 20% off. Be explicit about what you want them to do.
Less subtle than the organic CTAs, maybe.
Generally, yes, for direct conversion ads. And testing is testing just as vital for paid ads.
Oh, even more so, according to this blueprint. It hourly notes a statistic that top e-commerce brands often dedicate something like 20% of their weekly ad budget just to testing new creative variations. Wow, 20% just on testing.
Yeah. Testing different headlines, visuals, sounds, offers, CTAs. You have to constantly experiment in the paid environment to find out what truly resonates and drives conversions most efficiently for your specific audience.
That's a serious commitment to optimization. Okay, wow, we've covered a ton. The unique TikTok ecosystem, setting the right goals, crafting content that converts, building that community, optimizing the whole funnel, and then using paid ads to accelerate. How does someone listening actually start putting all this together? It feels like a lot.
It can feel like a lot for sure, but the blueprint breaks it down into a kind of step-by-step roadmap.
Okay, let's hear it.
First step, audit your current TikTok profile. Take an honest look. Is your bio crystal clear about the benefit you offer? Is your link working? And is the destination compelling? Does your overall profile aesthetic align with your brand?
Get that basic foundation solid first.
Exactly. Step 2, identify your best performing organic content. And remember, not just based on views. Which videos actually led to profile clicks, website visits, or even comments asking, where can I buy this?
Find the stuff that's already showing conversion intent.
Right, and then double down on those formats, those topics, those angles that seem to drive action.
Makes sense. What's next?
Step 3, map out your sales funnel specifically for TikTok. How are people likely finding you? Once they find you or click, where are you sending them? What's the ideal journey you want them to take?
Understand that path you're trying to guide them on.
Step 4, start intentionally planning content with conversion in mind. Maybe plan out a multi-part series. Consider running a user-generated content challenge. Actively think about storytelling that leads towards a CTA.
Be strategic about the content.
Step 5. Get your tracking sorted. Set up those unique tracking links for your bio for specific campaigns. And make absolutely sure your landing page is mobile, perfect, fast, persuasive, loaded with social proof, and has that super clear call to action.
The technical plumbing needs to be right.
Absolutely. Step 6. Consider going live. Plan a live stream, maybe with a special limited time offer to drive some immediate sales buzz. And, crucially, have a follow-up plan ready for those who engage, but don't buy right away, retargeting ads, email capture nurture sequences.
Don't let those warm leads go cold.
Exactly. And the final step, which is really ongoing.
Keep looking at the data.
Yes. Step 7. Review your analytics regularly, ideally weekly. Which specific videos drove sales? Which CTAs got clicks? Which landing pages converted best? Which ad creatives worked? Use that data to continuously refine your strategy. Refine and repeat.
It's a cycle. Learn, adjust, implement, learn again.
Precisely.
And what if someone's listening and thinking, okay, that's still way too much to do all at once?
Totally understandable. The blueprint actually advises starting small if you feel overwhelmed. Just pick 1 or 2 things from that roadmap to tackle first. Like maybe this week, just focus on optimizing your profile bio and making sure your link works perfectly. And maybe commit to adding a clearer, more native CTA to your next 5 videos. That's it.
Start there, build momentum.
Exactly. Get comfortable with that, see some results, then add the next piece, maybe setting up tracking links or planning a content series. Don't feel like you have to boil the ocean on day 1.
Okay, that's practical advice.
Yeah.
So boiling it all down, the big takeaway from this TikTok views to sales conversion blueprint seems to be that turning those views into actual sales isn't really about luck or just hoping one video goes mega viral.
No, not at all. It's about having a repeatable system, a system that blends that authentic, story-driven content people love on TikTok.
With building a real community, nurturing relationship.
And then strategically guiding those people through a funnel that you've carefully optimized, removing friction.
And then maybe using paid ads intelligently to amplify what's already working.
Right. It's a combination of providing genuine value, building that trust, really listening to your audience through the data, and just constantly experimenting to see what connects and converts.
Well, it really is a process, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not just a one-off event.
Absolutely. Apply these kinds of tactics consistently, and the idea is you move from just chasing attention to actually building a sustainable, profitable business channel directly fueled by TikTok.
Okay, fantastic insight. So for you, the listener, as you've heard us unpack this blueprint, what part of this whole conversion process feels like maybe the most exciting piece for you to tackle first? Or perhaps what feels like the biggest challenge in your specific situation? And maybe here's a final thought to chew on. How can you take that core principle we discussed, the idea of building community and providing authentic value, before you even think about pushing for a sale? And how could you apply that fundamental approach to your own content strategy, really, regardless of what platform you happen to be using?